Well, now for our next piece, we have a special surprise. We are about to premiere a brand new piece of music. In other words, this will be the first public performance of this music. Pretty exciting, huh? So you're excited and I'm nervous, so here we go. Now, how did we get here? I would assume that most of you, if not all of you, have probably heard of our founding director, Mr. James Swearingen. So you probably know he's a highly respected music educator, a highly successful composer, and just a really all-around nice person, right? We know this. Well, to the people seated behind me, I didn't count on this. He's our band director and has been for 20 years, 20 plus. Each and every concert season, Mr. Swearingen takes us from the group of individuals that we are and molds us into an individual group. So a little over 2 years ago, our board members thought it would be neat for the Grove City Community Winds to commission a piece of music dedicated to Mr. Swearingen to show our love and appreciation for all the time, talent, and effort he has volunteered over the years to help this group. Can I have all the board members please stand? And Rick Eckler, past president. This was the team that helped facilitate the project. Obviously, we're all behind it, but they helped to facilitate it. I'd also like to have the entire band please stand for a moment. These dedicated individuals worked hard to learn this song in 6 rehearsals because we're trying to surprise Mr. Swearingen. So, thank you everybody. Have a seat, please. Now, the first step was putting thought into the choice of the composer for this important project. Now, naturally, Jim was our first choice, but that would have been a little awkward and less of a surprise. So we did not go that route. But we wanted to find a composer who, first of all, knows Jim, and secondly, knows the Grove City Community Winds. And as it turned out, the perfect choice was in our backyard. Lisa Galvin is a very popular local band composer. She has known Jim for years. She has heard our group perform many, many times. So after reaching out, you can imagine how thrilled we were when Lisa agreed to accept the challenge of this project. And now, to speak about the piece, please welcome composer and friend, Lisa Galvin.
Thank you, Mr. Burke. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to tell you a little about this piece and the man for which it is written. Commissioned by the Grove City Community Winds, this work began as a tribute to the band's founder and director, Mr. James Swearingen. The title Altius comes from the Olympic motto, Citius, Altius, Fortius, which means faster, higher, stronger. I was searching for a title that represents the magnitude of one of the greatest mentors and influences in my career as a band director and as a composer. And Mr. Swearingen has certainly risen to the highest esteem, not only in my view, but in that of thousands of other musicians literally across the world. He earned degrees from Bowling Green State University and the Ohio State University. His teaching career began in Sunbury, Ohio, and after a few years there, he later spent 14 years as director of bands right here in Grove City at Grove City High School. where his performing ensembles earned critical acclaim on the local and national level. In 1987, he was appointed to the faculty at Capital University, where he later retired as Professor Emeritus and Chair of the Music Education Department after serving for more than 25 years. He is an arranger on the staff of the Ohio State University Marching Band, having been celebrated recently for 50 years of service in music education for that organization. Additionally, Mr. Swearingen has been honored with membership in the American Bandmasters Association, and he is a Hall of Fame member of Phi Beta Mu International Bandmasters Fraternity. I believe there are some members of Phi Beta Mu and perhaps ABA in our audience this evening. I'd like to ask them to please stand and be recognized for their support of Jim. In 2002, Mr. Swearingen was asked to revitalize the community band in his hometown of Grove City. And for the past 22 years, he has served as director of the Grove City Community Winds. This extraordinary ensemble that includes Jim's wife, Linda, in the flute section, is a collection of musicians from all walks of life who have gained a superior reputation through their performance excellence, not only here in Grove City, but all around Ohio and the United States. As a composer, Mr. Swearingen has written more than 700 works that have been published, most by the C.L. House Company. And virtually every middle school and high school band in this country has likely played something written by a man many of us are privileged to call our friend. Jim's name is synonymous with music that is fun to play, rhythmic in nature, and certainly beautiful in melodic content. As I began to formulate ideas for this piece, I knew it would need to have a few signature rhythmic, melodic, and harmonic elements for which Mr. Swearingen's music is quite recognizable. I also wanted this work to have a soaring quality, symbolizing a musician, educator, composer, and human being who has achieved the highest pinnacles of nearly everything he has ever touched. As I was completing the percussion parts for this work, I felt it was important to seek the guidance of Mr. Jeremy Bradstreet, who has long been a percussion consultant and collaborator with Mr. Swearingen. Jeremy often worked alongside Jim for many of his compositions and arrangements, and I am grateful for Jeremy's suggestions, which once again added meaningful connection to the wonderful educator and composer we both so greatly admire. Many in this audience know and love Mr. Swearingen, and likely have a special story or a fond experience that you can recollect about Jim. I hope you not only hear his essence in this work, but that it stirs something in you that reminds you of this amazing man. And to my friend Jim, I pray you will forgive me for the hundreds of times over the past year that I may have been a little less than truthful when you would call and ask what I was working on. The truth is, I was working feverishly on this composition in hopes that I could somehow musically encapsulate you and all that you have meant to the Grove City Community Winds, along with the thousands of students, educators, and composers whose lives you have touched. You have written so many hundreds of pieces for others for all sorts of occasions. I was genuinely humbled and truly honored to have been the one asked to write a piece for you. Ladies and gentlemen, under the direction of Mr. Joseph Burke, it is my great pleasure to have the Grove City Community Winds present this premiere for you. Please enjoy Altius. Thank you.